All right, Kenny Smith, Total Force Holdings again. So we're going to start going through my bag that goes with me places. This is the bag that goes with me and my wife when we travel. This is the bag I take with me on security gigs. All right, this is my combination shit happens bag and a few other things. Now, I did take the normally not everything that's in the top compartment is there, but it would be if I was on a gig, so, or if I'm traveling, like going on vacation or whatever, if I'm not just going out for the day. But if I'm going a good ways from home where I may need to change my approach to some things, then what's in the top of the main compartment would be there. So this compartment right back here is where my laptop goes, which I'm filming on my laptop. So funny thing. Yeah, I can't really show you my laptop and film on it at the same time. My laptop, my charger, my phone cord, all that would go in there. And when I tried to film this earlier and my computer didn't save it, I ended up putting my phone cord in my cable bag, which isn't a bad place for it, but nonetheless. So nothing in that compartment. That would be where I'd put like cough drops or shit when I'm traveling. I've got some of those in my foot bag, which you'll see anyway. All right, there's my phone cord right there. And 2 micro USBs. All right, so I can charge off my laptop if I need to. All right, also in there where I can get to it fairly quick, spare ink pen. And the number one tool of the security trade, the notepad, right? Writing stuff down so you don't have to worry about trying to remember it later goes a long way. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go to the main compartment. Unzip my main compartment here, flip that open, and here's what we got fully loaded. So this top is alternate weapons, alternate carry arrangement, spare ammunition. We're going to go through that now. Unzip that. Alternate weapons. Let's say we're going somewhere, vacation, whatever, and my wife wants to go in somewhere, and they're pretty obviously looking for weapons, so my normal EDC can't go. All right, first thing, maybe I can get that in there. Not necessarily something I recommend for most people, but I actually took this off a guy when I was working security at an event because I saw those prongs. All right, what this is like a flashlight, a personal alarm, and contact stun gun. Now, I'm not a big fan of contact stun guns, but if you're using it to enhance like a hold of some form, like say for instance a seatbelt hold, and you can get this where they can't run away from it, you can get some better pain compliance that way. It's not going to work like you see in the movies, but it can keep them from running away from it and help you out there. I keep the cold steel balisong, the double-edged variety. It's non-metallic, right? Kind of big, but you can get it into places where you can't get other blades. Along with my P-tool, my Sheriff of Baghdad Tactical G10 puncher. I've got this in some pretty interesting places that I probably shouldn't mention. So I've got some covert weapons there. And then I've got my coin purse, okay? Mean Gene Leather Hot Tamale V2, right? Aside from carrying my change, it's got a pretty easy to spot ulterior motive there as well. All right, next thing right up in top, I have my shoulder rig. Now this shoulder rig is a whole lot of nothing special. It's not a great shoulder rig. Normally I don't like these nylon universal fit holsters. What I did is my Glock 17 inside the waistband holster that I made before I could find one to buy when I put the X300 Ultra on it. I cut the belt attachments off, shoved that in, cut it in a few different places that'll bite into it so it won't come out, and my Glock 17 stays in there. Right, grip is cut down to 19 length. It is a 17 Gen 3, right, and it runs a 19 magazine. I've got XS big dot sights on it, and Surefire X300 Ultra, early old production, right. I could throw this under a jacket if I need to, unbutton my shirt, put it on under there if I need to upgun for whatever reason, right. Typically, if I'm traveling, I'll carry a long gun if I can, but depending on like where we're going, we may end up not like walking all the time, and I'm not going to leave my long gun in someone's Airbnb, and I'm certainly not going to leave it in the vehicle. So pistol centric works better in that regard for that type of thing. Same thing with EP works. Not like I can walk around with a long gun concealed all the time. 2 spare magazines in there, right? So just I could throw it on as a bump in the night rig or something like that, or carry a second gun. So with carrying a second gun, I also keep an ankle holster for my 19 and my Raven Concealment Vanguard 3. I just put some moleskin on the back of it because of how much I sweat. So I can kind of play with it. I can play with my carry setup as I need to. And 2 more spare magazines in a Safariland snap-on belt pouch. So this is my foot bag, right? And it's strapped in place. The strap's kind of loose, right? Remember, I keep a gallon jug with me everywhere of water. Right, so I've got a quart bottle on the outside, well, 3/4 of a liter, All right, so I've got that there. Also in this external pocket is my Oakleys and my Grizzly ears, ear protection, and almost like a hearing aid as well, plus my freaking Bluetooth headset. So, yeah, all kinds of stuff I can do with that there. Next, because some places still go crazy about the COVID stuff, I've got a spare mask, like especially if we're on vacation or something, we don't know how it's going to be. I've got my shield for if I'm doing security work and I'm not automatically wearing it. I keep that in there just for identification if need be. In the main pocket, I don't keep anything in this compartment. I could, but I don't. In the main compartment, right up on top, I keep a big can of pepper spray. There's Def Tech Red Band. All right, there's all kinds of uses for that. Right, that'll make a pretty good sized crowd leave you alone pretty quick, and it's just a lot more of it than I can carry on body. Spare vape juice, just because I vape. All right. Also going in here, in this first compartment, I keep a spare fighting knife. Right, Benchmade Infidel. Love that little blade. Right, not necessarily something everybody would want to carry, but it's there. Also, if I'm not on a gig, this would be in here. If I'm on a gig, you can bet your ass this will be on body. This is the P16 Protector Series 16-inch baton from ASP. All right, it's got the pocket clip. I'm a big fan of using impact weapons when legal to do so. That and I've got a really big Filipino stick and knife fighting background, so it makes a lot of sense that I would be in favor of using the baton. So, all right, also in this front flap of here, I've got a few things. Zac Tool spare handcuff key, right? Fine point Sharpie. Streamlight stylus, the original one. That one's 70 lumens. Little escape kit. I can put this on body if I need to, right? By using the elastic here. It's got a handcuff shim, a handcuff key, a glass breaker bead, a signal mirror, Kevlar cord, ceramic razor blade. All right, that got everything up with my tension wrench. I'm getting better at that. And in the event this wants to be crazy like it's doing right now, I can always open this up and finagle stuff that way. Come here. So what is being obnoxious is the tension wrench for the lock picks I keep in here. Right. So I apparently put that in there backwards and I get to get that out, but I have a tension wrench in there. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. All right, cool. But that goes to my lockpick set right there with a hacksaw blade, handcuff shim, combination lock bypass tool. That's actually rather annoying. Okay, cool. Well, upside is on the other pouch in there, or not on the other pouch, on the other strap, I keep my Gerber. So there you go. There's my tension wrench. We'll get to that in a bit. So I keep that in there. And then this we'll get to with some of the more technical stuff. Looks like a pen. It is a pen, but it's also something else. That's more the technical side. Spare cartridges for my nice ink pen there. Spare ink. Radio battery. All manner of charging cables. 110 plug. 3 USB 12 volt plug. Y radio battery. Radio and one wire surveillance headset. Technical. And technical. Alright, so we'll do the technical side of it dead last. PurePort, alright, this thing right here, you can clean just about everything on your phone and get dirt and all that crap out of it. Headlamp. I can't stress the use of a hands-free headlamp enough. Alright, that's white light, red light, it's a Black Diamond Cosmo, okay? And I've got a freaking tripod because content creator. Always keep that handy. Because I am in the security field, I keep a pair of cuffs just in case. Never know what I'm going to run into, especially if I'm on a consult or working an EP gig or something like that. Maybe I'm not directly with the clients. There's no real need to be suited and booted, but I've still got that with me. So if something goes crazy, I've got stuff like that there. Spare cartridge for my Taser Pulse. It is single shot, so. Backup battery. Additional backup battery with a solar panel. A lens brush for cleaning optics, sunglass lenses, everything else. This is a de-author. All right, this allows me to attack Wi-Fi networks, right? I can see if there's Ring cameras out there, This is basically like a hacker's paradise. I can do all kinds of nasty and nefarious stuff with this. If you know what you can do with them, then you know what you can do with them. If not, you probably don't need one because it's really easy to get yourself in a lot of trouble with one. All right, continuing, again, with Airbnbs or anything like that, I don't necessarily care if I get why an Airbnb owner would want to protect their investment with security cameras, but I want to know what they're seeing too to make sure that they're not seeing more than they need to see, kind of thing. Right, so I keep a bug detector. All right, this antenna with the light on it detects magnetic fields. This one detects radio frequency. As you can see, it's picking up my cell phone and everything right there. All right, I can hold this button. You'll see it switch over to blue light, and that puts it on the magnetic side. Get back. Tap that button right there, and it'll go to vibrate before long. Or if I just press it, you see the lights on the back light up. Okay, well, what that does is using this viewfinder that allows me to find cameras that are out there. So this just allows me to find out if there's any. This and the deauthor work together to allow me to find out if there's anything like transmitting what's going on. Not that I would interfere with it unless it was part of the job. It is rechargeable, and I have a charger for it in my charger kit. Next thing we have is one of the most useful tools I've found for the security profession. All right, and that is a voice recorder. Now, there are laws about recording other people, but there's no laws about recording yourself, all right, unless you're in like sensitive areas kind of thing. So I can cut this on and basically take my own voice notes, right? Like maybe if I'm trying to write down a plate, going ahead, cut this on, read it out, and if I don't get it all wrote down before they drive off and I need to see it again kind of thing, it's still there. It's just another note-taking device. Plus, I mean, you can also use it for gathering information in the event you're doing so in a legal manner. Same thing with this. Aside from being a pen, this is also a video camera. All right, so this is my body camera on gigs, and I've been known if I'm out in areas where I don't know the necessary feelings of the courts, right? I can go ahead and, if I'm worried about something go crazy, go ahead and cut this on and get an eyewitness to an incident if I'm worried about things escalating like that. So that's got my foot bag covered, right? That's all stuff to enhance the job. And as you've seen in other videos, I can modify this and set that up for survival centric if I wanted to. On the strap that holds the stuff on the bottom in place, I keep my Gerber multi-tool with a bit kit, so I can do all kinds of stuff with that. If you know how useful a Gerber is, you know, right? I've got a spare radio battery there, right? My big lockpick kit, all right, so I can get into more stuff or out of more stuff as needed. I keep a Goal Zero crush light lantern, USB and solar rechargeable as needed. All right, never know when the power might go out. Ankle medical kit, T3 bandage, quick clot combat gauze, soft T wide, freaking trauma shears. I can put that on my ankle if I need to. Now, we know how YouTube feels right now about like firearms magazines. So let's just say I've got a spare Glock magazine right there. And a big long blade antenna for my freaking radio so I can get better reception. This is a survival pouch. Okay, open that up. And we're just going to do a quick down and dirty on this, okay, as we go. Wire saw. They're not the best in the world, but they're small, and they greatly increase your cutting power when it comes to like processing wood. Ultimate Survival Technology Strike Force. This is the best damn ferro rod I've ever owned. Like, I wish I could find more of them. All right, this thing is really interesting, and when I tried to film this earlier, I figured out that my little Lumo from Nebo needs new batteries. So, yeah, it's okay because so does my little Pelican. All right, just spare light, a handheld light or an area light that doesn't necessarily need something bigger. And a whistle, right? Just some spare illumination and signaling. Duct tape. If you can't duck it, fuck it. Cordage. 550 cord and conventional jute twine. 550 cord for heavy duty, jute twine for light duty. Jute twine pulls double duty because you can also use it to start fires or get fires going. Tent stakes. Why tent stakes? Because I can use my tent stakes and my survival blanket to make a couple of different variations of shelter. I know the survival blanket doesn't have eyelets in it, but I can always improvise those. All right, pull the corner out, tighten a knot around itself with a good helping of dirt or whatever. Use a Prusik knot on some 550 or some hemp twine or jute twine rather. Pull that out, stake them out, right, and we're good to go. Cut down VS17 panel. right? All kind of uses for a BS-17 panel. All right, go figure the ex-military guy's all about his air panel. Saw your water filter system. All right, just allows me to purify whatever water I might be able to find. A couple ways you can go about doing that. And in addition to that, I keep the 2-step iodine tablets just to keep water pure. Compass, right? I mean, we all know what a compass is for. Heliograph or a signal mirror, they're the same thing. Just for signaling, again. All right, these things are really cool. This is my old Black Diamond Spot. Obviously, it don't ratchet like it used to. This thing's old. It's got a floodlight on it, and it's got a spotlight on it. It's just a backup light that I can set off to the side and almost use it like a focused area light. MS-2000 IR strobe, IR invisible strobe. That should need no introduction. These things are cool. This is from Night Eyes. I'm not digging. There you go. Just popped off. There we go. Good. Think of this as a USB rechargeable chem light that you can change colors on. And more importantly, you can cut it off when you don't need it anymore. So it's not just a one-use thing. All right, you click it once, and it changes colors between red, green, and blue. Click it again, steady green. Click it again, steady blue. Click it again, steady red. Click it again, flashing red. And you can run cordage through there and buzzsaw with this too if you need to. So you can get, aside from static elimination, you can also get some good signaling there. Just a general old school USGI utility knife, right? Just think of this as like a survival task knife. It's not going to do the same thing as like a K-bar or something like that, but this is for the survival tasks. And the last thing I have in here is a set of Gyrojet pin flares, which it's flare gun. I mean, call it what it is. So between that setup, that's what I've got with me more often than not to handle problems when me and my wife are traveling or when I'm on an EP job somewhere or doing surveillance or something like that. So that's part 2. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Till next time, y'all stay dangerous.